Hey everybody, hope you're well. Welcome to episode number 7 of Average Beer Dude TV. I'm Chris, I am Average Beer Dude. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to diving into this one today. We're heading all the way from San Diego out to Ludlow, Massachusetts to try this Valley equivalent pale ale. If you followed my page, if you followed this YouTube channel, you're probably getting a sense that I just love Valley Brewing Company. And that's true, I do. Ever since my buddy Ed, Got Hops Blog on Instagram, sent me a care package about a month and a half ago of their stuff, I've been hooked. So he was nice enough to send me another care package which had this equivalent pale ale in there. So I figured, why not do a video review? It's kind of this mutual support. Valley supports me big time, and I really appreciate it. And at the same time, I'm supporting them big time as well. I'm just super high on what these guys are doing. So if you live in Massachusetts, or if you live anywhere, keep an eye out for these guys. They're doing great things. Again, this is Valley equivalent pale ale. This one's a 5.5% pale ale, so it's nice and mild, which I'm kind of looking forward to, starting my drinking journey today with a nice mild one. I don't know anything else about this beer. It doesn't have the date stamp on it. It doesn't have hops. It doesn't have really anything. So I'm not, to be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm about to get myself into. A little bit more about Valley just before we get started. I believe they're founded in like 2016. Pretty small brewery still. They're doing, I believe, can releases only right now. Can releases and draft accounts around the area where they're at, which is Ludlow, Massachusetts. For those of you that are familiar with that area or are familiar with the that brewery, I'm assuming everybody's kind of heard of it, called Treehouse. Yeah, they're kind of near Treehouse. So about 60, 70 something miles west of Boston. And what can I say? They're doing great things. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get that can shot in there to show you guys what that one's looking like a little bit. Pretty straightforward. Nice little simple label. It's kind of got like some boots and some trees and some birds, like a coyote and shit on there. I don't know. It looks like a bear, some fish, shovels. Pretty sweet. I could sit here and probably name off all the weird pictures that are on here for the next 5 minutes, but let's go ahead and crack this thing open, see what we're working with. And in traditional fashion, I'm just going to do a little half pour just so we can get the schnoz way down in there, see what the aromas are like on this beer, and give it a few sips, see if I can describe what I'm tasting. So, first and foremost, I mean, if I had to describe this beer, I would say it's, to be honest with you, kind of ugly, which isn't a bad thing. Just because it's ugly doesn't mean it doesn't taste good. It's got a nice little foamy head. It's, it's a white head, kind of frothy. It retains to the glass pretty well, but the color on this thing, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's almost like a coppery amber color. I was kind of expecting to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more orange, but that's all right. Let's see what we're working with here. Gonna give it a nice smell, see what I can get on the aroma side, and report back. The good news is, as ugly as I might think this beer smells really good. This reminds me of just like a regular IPA would smell. Kind of a nice fruit salady type of smell. It's got a little bit of that orangey grapefruit citrusy bitterness in there. Also some like melony, stone fruity type notes too, but not with IPAs, when you take whiffs of some of these big juice bomb IPAs or just like West Coast IPAs, you can kind of smell the hops in there. And I don't really smell that big hop explosion there, which is fine. I'm super excited to try this. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's fucking good. Start with the body. Body on this beer is a little bit thinner, which I expected for being a pale ale. It's definitely not like super thin like you would get in like a really light beer, but it's definitely on the thinner side. Carbonation's super soft. Slick, oily, all the good stuff I look for in a beer. Really, really dig the mouthfeel on this beer. Man, that is good. Carbonation's real subtle on that one, which I can appreciate. I'm not big on the big, I shouldn't say I'm not big on it. The bright bubbly stuff I like, but when I'm looking to just really crush a pale ale, the nice subtle carbonation, super nice. It sits in the mouth really nice and easy. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more of this because this is good stuff. Flavor wise, man, that's good. Definitely has some of that citrusy bitterness up front. It's not overly complex or anything like that. Same stuff I'm getting on the nose, kind of that orangey citrus bitterness, a little bit of grapefruit. What I really, really, really like about this beer, which is pretty unusual for me, I don't know if it's just because it's today or what it is, but this one has a nice, balanced, like malty backbone. Not overly sweet, not overly bready or anything like that, but it's there, and it just really makes this beer like cruise all the way through. Rinses the palate super clean, pretty dry finish. I mean, honestly, I could sit and crush like 5 of these probably today. 5.5%, man, that makes it so easy. Yeah, let me see if I can get anything else for you guys. Yeah, that's just solid. Everything I described to you guys, you know, I'm not gonna dig anything else out of this beer. It's just really good. This is probably one of the more crushable pale ales I've had lately. I don't know if it's because I've been drinking like kind of that West Coast hoppy type of pale ale or what, but this thing is super crushable. Again, this is Valley Brewing Company's equivalent pale ale at 5.5%. If you guys don't know who Valley is, I would recommend highly that you check them out. They are just really good people. I know they're on Facebook. I've interacted with them there. I've interacted with them on Instagram. And I'm assuming that they have all the other Twitter and all that fun stuff. So please do look them up. They are amazing. If you can get a hold of these beers in a trade, or if you live in the Massachusetts area, I would highly recommend it. If I had to rate this beer, might as well do that since, before I forget. This is probably one of the better pale ales that I've personally had in the last probably couple months. I've had some all right ones. I'm not a huge pale ale guy. I'm more of an IPA, double IPA, trying to get into sours, stouts, things like that. But this is a solid pale ale. If I had to give it a rating, I'm really loving this. I'm going for a 4.5 out of 5. I think Valley knocked this one out of the park. So if you've had this beer, I'd love to hear what you think. If you loved what you're watching here, I would really appreciate you subscribe to the channel. That would mean the world to me. Always going to be adding videos, whether they're beer reviews, unboxings. I'm looking to do some kind of how-to videos to just help people get started with their YouTube channel, just like I'm getting started with mine. Hit that subscribe button if you would.